All right. I don't know if it's the same number. Oh, hey, ate this. What? It? It's a few. It's a minute or two. I ain't seen nobody. Let's practice this old audio. Wow. You know, I gotta tell you, and I probably don't care, but me playing this instrument has once been noted that it was reminiscent of a caterwauling tomcat. Hey, if that's what one sounds like, I like it. I, yeah, I'll get it to the schedule, but I'm not seeing any participants. Remember, I there's some latency I'm working with, and it goose me up sometimes. I haven't trained my mind to phase one of them out. That's why I sound discombobulated. If somebody knows, if somebody knows a solution, I would be eternally grateful. All right. I'll keep my eye open. Woo wee! Like Jimmy would say, my fingers are burning. Hey, you gotta make a joyful noise. Hey, I have played that way before. Anyway, I'm going to take these headphones off and turn this mic off and put it away. Man, I've been playing for 25 minutes. I tell you, when you're in the woods and you're camping and the river is by you, you might be a little toasty and for more than just the heat of the fire. But back in the day, I would run away. Whew. And my favorite pastimes were high school, independent, motorcycles, and camping, fishing. And when you're in an environment of nature, it could be cold. It could be hot. But the pace depended on the temperature. And you know, this wood instrument, I always admired the sound of it. I don't know why. I like guitar now. But I can pick this one up, and my fingers are, after a little while, they know where to go. Now I can start organizing it or let it come together. It's not really together. I bounce around a lot, but I don't know how this audio it would sound. Better quit. I'll tell you that story another time. Let me turn this other mic off. Y'all let me know if I'm not getting out. I'll turn them headphones off too. Let me get this. Y'all hang on a minute. I gotta get this out of my way. Yeah, you guys. You should see this desk. Yeah, it's like that mandolin playing. It's all over the place. Everything. I stay discombobulated most of the day. Hard to focus on anything. So I do some other presentations, skits, informationals, and I do it for the good of people that I know and care about. I gotta mute that darn. I'm sure this microphone's getting that feedback. There. I hope I'm still getting out. Anyway. Forgot where I was at. Oh, yeah. And I got tired of having to look down and pretend to look up at the camera while I read my notes. I just don't like doing it. I don't like the way it looks. I ain't smart enough to remember it all, so I have to use a script. And in those, I'm just trying to deliver as much information as hard and fast as possible. Just, if you want to know my views on things, one day you can go there and look at it. I'll let you find it. I'm not going to tell you where it's at. I'm not going to be self-promoting. This is an outlet for me. And if others want to participate, they're more welcome to come in. Maybe one day we'll meet face to face, Instead of doing it, just being an entertainment factory. Yeah, we all need to be entertained. I understand that. We need to be entertained, and there's a multitude of ways to be entertained. You could be entertained in the philosophical. You can be entertained in the mathematical. You can be in the arts, music, whatever. You can join and be entertained by one of those things. That's all you talk about is, and I appreciate that. I sometimes drift into those categories where I become real intense about learning something. And then I'll back off and find a new interest. And people say, well, you just never stick with anything. Well, here's the thing I've discovered. That by being in places and different scenarios, different people, different, from the truck stops to the farms, to the high rises, to the political, in those environments and how people interact with one another, and you understand their motives. They want to be at the top of their profession, or they just want to be a clinger on, and they never really hit with anybody because of whatever, they had their standards and morals that wasn't adherent to anybody else's standards and morals. Let somebody else make those judgments. I'm not doing it. But the world is so full of things to fill yourself with. And when you fill yourself with these things, you see relationships everywhere. We're individuals, but we're one. It's like the Borg, but each one still has a personality. It's a natural progression. Look, I'm no philosopher. I'm no doctor. I'm just a guy who's been around and was wise enough to find an interest in that. Couldn't document it today. These are just observations that I'm speaking about. But there are a few vital things that most people need to be happy. Now, some people ain't ever going to be happy. Some people won't ever have enough. Some people, I don't know, all that stuff. Anybody in there? No, man. Well, let's find the notes. Y'all want to philosophize another time, we'll sure do it, but we got to get some information. Where's my Word document? There you go. All right, I guess we done the greetings. You know, we were playing me thinking some grandiose ideas about my ability to play anyway, and nobody was on here. So anyway, then we got off into some crazy, but we normally get here, and I'd like to keep it kind of focused on being just a community of people who may be regionally connected, or they could be connected other ways. They're guests. We're all guests, but somebody want to jump right in, have topic, subject, man, get after it. I'll just sit back and listen and maybe say a word or two and listen in and express my opinion, but say anything you want. I might have some questions. I might make a few comments. And depending on your persona, you know. Anyway, good news. We try to do that. We try to be neighborly, take care of each other, look out for one another, make sure that we safeguard our culture and our environment. And all that is just like-minded people getting together and ensuring our values are able to go forward and not be tread on by any entity living under, I think, the Constitution. Now, this opinion can vary, but the United States Constitution, but a lot of that stuff that's been ratified needs to be rethought now that we've grown up a little bit. And there's some changes being made, but you got to dang a little salt, a little pepper. None of us 100% right on anything. But anyway, here we go. Oh, local paper. There's three opinions in the newspaper, and both of them is real upset about the way things are going. I don't understand it, but that's their right and they can do it. And I think it's a small fraction of people that are highly upset about it. A lot of them recognize it and go, well, party's up. Time to go express my cred somewhere else. Anyway, I thought that was interesting. Anyway, but here's the good news. The Bigfoot Conference. That's right. That's right. This weekend in Dillard, Georgia. That sounds like a real opportunity to get up there and really dig into that phenomena, that theory, that mystery. I think, I don't know if I'll go or not. I'm well studied up on that. I'm an old Art Bell guy. All them long hours. Yeah, man, Art Bell. Rolling at night, getting her done. Yeah, so that sounds exciting. It's this weekend, days is the 20th. It's the 20th of March. If you can't keep track of the year, I'm sorry. Well, this might be something hysterical. They might want to know what year it is. So it's 2025. Hey guys, what's going on with the fishing this week? Anybody? The fishing? I could see them old, what do you call them darn things? Them old ornamental pear trees that just crack and break and fall to pieces in the first good windstorm. Some kind of pear tree. I don't know. They're in bloom. I hadn't seen the dogwoods in bloom. I see a lot of red budding and the bluebells are definitely out. The yard's starting to get covered up in the violets, the purple violets. They're just tiny, they'll fill up the whole yard right on the ground. I won't cut them. I like them. And then we have the debate going on. You got to see the beauty in tall grass. Come on. There's a lot hidden in that tall grass. Yeah, fish. I was walking. Where was I walking at the other day? Anyway, I detected an odor I haven't detected since last spring coming off the water. If anybody want to take a guess what I might be talking about, I seen a little subsurface activity. And some watered out places. I just, y'all tell me what you think that is. Y'all all know. I ain't seen no schooling. I ain't seen them old river varmints in a while. What do they call them things? It's close to a mink, a river otter. Man, I sure hope this county knows what it's doing. Anyway, all that growth and all that clean water ain't gonna mix real well. Never has, never will. Anybody familiar with I don't want to talk about that. They make too many people interested. I'd like to find a couple chums that are local and talk about that, though. Maybe one day. Maybe somebody want to know who that fool is. I'm reaching out, man. I'm reaching out. Yeah. I got plenty of time. Y'all want to hear? I don't know. Don't tell that. I'm going to have to see if the good Lord lays on me to talk about that one. I don't want to offend nobody. I just want to be friendly with everybody, you know. You know, me doing this thing right here is really weird. What am I fishing for? I'm fishing for a place in the algorithm. I'm trying to fill a niche that needs to be badly filled. That's men that take on the roles of husband, father, grandfather, Christian leader, church member, friend. I guess. I don't know. Because all of us fall short, you know. Hell, I'm the first one to admit I fall short. I stumble through it. I like what Mark Twain said. He said, I might be a fool, but I'm God's fool. Yeah. So I'm just, we go through all this, and that's really what I want to do. I want us to talk a lot about fishing because this stuff, all that other stuff's just much too deep. What's that old Leonard Skinner song? Don't ask me no questions, and I won't tell you no lies. Don't ask me about my business, and I won't tell you goodbye. Bum 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 bum. And then the next verse was, if you want to talk about fishing, well, I guess that'll be okay. Bum bum dum da 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 da. Talk about fishing. We went over some flies last week. Anybody caught anything out there? Man, dang it, I'm so backed up around here. I got lazy and now I'm behind. All right, quit staring off into space. I forget that I'm doing something. I don't have any interaction, man. I lose concentration. I guess I guess it's like being my wife. I thought it was pretty entertaining, you know. Maybe I am, like she says, to an extent. Always looking for another crowd, man. Always looking for another crowd. Yeah. Crazy. Man, last week though, I was sitting here talking, I looked over, there was one on there, and I started talking, hey man, how you doing? And then they chased them off. Imagine me, the old man. Get off my lawn. No, I'm the one that's the guy that's like, hey, how you doing? What the hell? All right, well, I spent most of the day working here in the office. Tomorrow I got to go do my daily routine, that stretch and flex and that walking business, and just keep on keeping on, man. It's good for the body, mind, and spirit. It truly is. A little bit of exercise. More importantly, I think being in nature is the important part. Actually, I do. Like I said, motorcycles and camping, right? Motorcycles and camping, fishing. Man, I've had motorcycles with fly rod tubes strapped to the fork, the back's frame, back part of the frame sticking up behind me with a backpack. Oh, yeah. It's really a pain in the butt, but it was an adventure. Now, one of them little trucks, if you could get good clearance on it, if you could get jacked up high enough, and I don't know, man, it just ain't got no center of gravity. It's all. Yeah, I need a full body. If you're gonna go crawling, I don't know, those Isuzus, they just, is there, it's not weight to power, it's torque to weight ratio. What is that? It's how much torque they can put to the ground with the applied foot pounds going down, and then have the power to drive. I don't know. Some of you mechanics going to have to answer that one. That was too far out for me. I talked to some of my mechanic buddies like that, and they look at me like I have a third eye, and I guess I'm just showing how much I don't know. I'm just running a fantasy by you, man. That's all, just a fantasy. If I'm wrong, let me know. Well, that leads to another deeply philosophical thought. Is all this fantasy? Is all this fantasy? What happens if I wake up? But the interesting part about that is that the Aboriginal people of Australia, I believe, are the ones who drew me to abstraction on the subject, because what they say is that they live in the dream time. Oh my God. I can almost see where the woke argument came from. Holy cow, man. They took a wrong turn. Oh, well. That's just my personal thought, man. I didn't express no thought. But if you're playing 3 or 4 moves with me, then you know exactly where it goes. If you're of my philosophical bent. Oh man, we ain't got to talk about that now, have we? I say I talked about the lake. I did go fishing one day. Did very little fishing though. Did more walking than fishing. Just getting some exercise. I watched the water. I paid attention. I looked at the. I did an assessment of what my success rate would be versus how hungry I was or how much time I wanted to put into it, and I said, I'll just keep walking. We've had a lot of rain, and it's running off pretty good. But I spy a couple promising places that probably might be pretty heavy. But everybody goes to those darned old pools, man. The best thing to do is fish upstream of them pools. If you want the big bucks, you want the big boy. My opinion. And that's casting upstream, fishing down. Stay behind him. Work in front of him. You won't spook him with your shadows. He can hear. He knows when something's in the water. They might not know what it is, but they know that that's something different than they've been hearing in their last memory cycle, or something that has been elevated to a regular threat type of sound. Anyway, that's fishing. We're talking about fishing, right? Was it Isaac Walton? The Art of the Angle. He wrote a lot about. It was interesting because he wrote about, and I gave my copy to somebody. I wish if anybody ever sees this, send me a copy of I think it's called The Art of the Angle, or The Angler's Art, or I think it's the first recognized published book on fishing, a treatise. And he had some discussion on what the equipment was made from. A lot of it that he talked about, I believe, was willow or some other flexible tree or sapling, young. And the fishing line was made from horsehair. And you had a recipe because you had to build a cone. So it'd be like 5 horsehairs intertwined together for this section, and 3 horsehairs intertwined together for this section. And then you had your tippet, which was 1 horsehair. And they created either a look-alike fly, or they would use real bait, but they had iron hooks, and they were shaped differently than ours, I believe, are today. They had more of a vertical with a barb on it. Instead of a round, it was more vertical. It was like a check shaped with a check shape upside down and backwards with a barb on the end of it. And they would attach it, and then they use their bait, and that's how they would catch them. But it was some other stuff involved in it, some other language, you know. Larry Smith, he suggested to me, what time is it? He suggested to me that I read Zen and the Art of Motorcycle Maintenance, and that's a pretty good book. You ever get that? Anybody ever watch this, want to know about that book, let me know. I'll get it out and reread it so I can tell you about it, be more specific and more accurate. But the premise was good. One of the premises that I took from it is that we never really ever achieve our goal. We get close to it. But I think he used the word quality. I think. You never get to it. I think he described it as like being on the cusp of a black hole. Things just prevent it from happening. But on the other hand, what if your goal changes? Instead of just wanting to build electric cars, man, I want to build rockets. Or, man, instead of just building Volkswagens, I want to build luxury cars or whatever. Instead of Nissan just trying to sell a utility vehicle, they sold it somewhere and got a big return on their investment, their effort, their learning curve, their hard work, their sweat equity, the lives of their culture, you know, hammering away and creating these mills and putting all these people to work. Everybody had purpose. That's a whole nother discussion. I ain't got time for that. Anyway, I don't know what my philosophical, I guess it's the music that done it. Oh, like I said, I've been at it. I slept late today. I didn't even get out of bed. It's 5:30, excuse me. I didn't even get in the office till 6. And then I forgot the story about the teleprompter. But I wanted to see, right now I'm looking at the teleprompter. This is me looking at the teleprompter instead of looking down at the video. So I need to do it for you too, is practice looking into the camera instead of trying to make sure that the stream is going well or whatever. Just say screw it and sit here and talk to myself and call it a learning curve. Y'all can laugh at me otherwise. But I was doing this to them too all the time, looking at them but reading the notes, right? Always looking down. So I had the components and I fabric cobbled an old teleprompter that I had. I reconverted it from another use where I was using it with my phone, but I took a small, here, let me show you shit. Where's my phone? Hang on, man. I got to do some work here. Y'all, I'll keep entertaining you here. I got to just change what I'm doing here. I don't know if I got time. Faye, yeah, I don't know if I got time. No, but I was going to take and show you this fabric cobbled thing that I put together. And, oh man, I don't know what I've done. I just need to close it. I can't now. Let's just delete it. Sorry, guys. I don't know what I'm doing. I took it out of the thing there. Sorry about that. Yeah, I was gonna fool around and because you used to be able to do it, but I don't see how to do it anymore. To go from a oh, there it is, studio mode. So now I can go to my studio mode and go to guest and change the camera setting, which is the Ozbot. No. Cancel. That's not what I want to do. I want to change my I want to change. I'm using Ozbot. I want to know its properties. And I want to Galaxy. Okay. Oh no, what have I done? Am I still good? Oh no. How did that happen? Oh no. Raven County Rag. Ozbot. Property. Sorry, boys and girls. I don't know how else to do it, but it didn't work out, did it? I could, let's see what time it is. I got 5 minutes. Let's see, what are we going to do here? Camera. I'm not working hard for anybody but me. All right. I'm trying to use the little camera there to show you this fabric cobbled. Anyway, that's the best I can do. Anyway, I cobbled that thing. Man, it took me about 4 hours to reconfigure it to get it to fit right, because you got two surfaces, one this way and a piece of glass that's right here, and the screen that's right here. Well, you've got to angle the light so it comes off the screen, strikes the mirror or the glass at 90 degrees, and stream it out to be seen from this angle. Well, you got the focal plane from here to here, right? But you also have a focal plane between here to here, because of the glass. All reflective surfaces have their own distinct sharp focal length. So I had to figure out the height, and it's still off. All I did was increase the size of the font so I could read it. But anyway, I did that so I could start practicing, looking at you, to make us having a conversation, if we get to that point. I do it in business from time to time, but just getting somebody who wants to jump in and have a chit chat. We can go to a Zoom, and then I can stream it, or you can stream it. I don't care. It doesn't matter one bit. But stream it out and have people interact, either through a Zoom call. If we only have 40 minutes and only have 4 guests for that free contract, that's all we got. Unless somebody wants to pony up, then they can own they can, I guess they'll own it. I don't know. Won't stop me from what I'm doing. I just want to be able to reach out to more people who might appreciate, who would appreciate. And I think I figured out that conflict. And I'll try and work on that for next time, because it'd be nice to be able to get up and go show you something in the shop or something like that. I don't know how well it would work, but it'd be worth a try. Get somebody to help me, I guess. Go run in there, set the phone in there, come back in here and see what the range is. I don't know. I hope it's using the office network. That way, maybe I should put it to the other one. Anyway, whatever. Oh, got 5 minutes. Like we talked about the fishing opportunity. I did bring up that Darnell shooting range, I think, didn't I? If anybody has any information on that Darnell shooting range in the Chattahoochee National Forest, get in touch with me. I'd like to talk about that darn thing. It looks like a real opportunity we could have, and it'd take a little bit of work, some equipment, some men, and we'd have we as a group could probably have a real nice get together place to go zero in rifles and practice handgun shooting and things like that. And I suspect if we wanted it to be worth anything, we'd have to maintain it somehow. And don't know what all that would involve. If it's in federal property, I guess the federales, but I think since it's in the county of Rabun, that the local authorities could have some jurisdiction in maintaining the county peace. If the federal government's overwhelmed or under budgeted or whatever they want to call it, I don't know, but maybe we need to use our own resources to manage that, whether it be deputies or whatever. I don't know how that works. Y'all figure it out. I'd help any way I could, or felt compelled to, I would say. Anyway, that covers that thing. Fishing opportunities, we covered that. I expect the activity start picking up real heavy in the next few weeks. Gardening, man, I got to get some seeds started. I've done lollygagged a whole nother week. I did get some bed warmers, them little warming mats with a thermostat, so I can keep the soil warm, and then adjust the lights according, because last year I told you, man, my old plants got leggy. I want them to be nice and thick. I want them to be healthy when I get out there, and I don't like to use fertilizer, so healthy to me might look unhealthy to somebody else, but you know what I mean. Anyway, I am still looking for mulch, hay mulch, barn mulch. I don't know the term for it. I'll take it, whatever horse, cow. I guess I can run it through a couple heat cycles and keep it turned. I got a little old thing, but I need to find some. So and then I'd like to also find a disc from a disc harrow. Now, I'm not a farmer by any means, but one of the harrows have got teeth on it, and one of them does not. I'd prefer the one that's completely round without the teeth, but I will take the other one. So if you've got one of those and you want to sell it or whatever, get in touch with me and we'll make arrangements. I think that's all I got. Go upstairs. Oh, man. 7 o'clock, and go upstairs and mess around. See if I can get the wife mad at me. She'll go to her corner, I go to mine. Darn old post office, man. I just got my bill today, and them dudes in New York City protesting about whatever. And I look at how much my postal service bill has gone up in 10 years, and I know they've gone up across the board like that in 10 years. So, and besides that, I think I told you last week, I think I was telling you that I was a contractor with I worked for a contractor that did work with the post office. I was a driver, and I knew then, boy. I knew then. That's when I was like, I ain't believing it. I ain't believing it. And back then, hell, they had to haul stuff. This is before the darn emails, the junk mail that you get on your electronic device. Them old retail fronts started making billions when they didn't have to pay for that daggum printing and all that stuff. Just buy a computer and a server, and every 38 minutes send their basic new email offering somewhere that they have on sale. And anyway, gotta go. Y'all have a grateful evening, and may your tomorrow be